website, but the purchased asset is not with them. And when it comes to withdrawal, the fraudsters seek more money in the name of withdrawal fee and taxes. And finally, the website disappears and the victim is left with nothing in the end. The cybercrime cell of Delhi Police has also taken cognizance of these financial frauds. Several accounts have been tracked and traced by the police.
Delhi Police is investigating such cases before also, but this is a new modus operandi which is coming up where the people who are looking for investigation, investing the money, they are being approached through Telegram app. Otherwise, there were cases earlier also where the people are duped in the name of investment in cryptocurrencies. So we are onto it and we'll definitely crack it down.
As per Delhi Police, the origin of these crimes are mainly from countries like China and Hong Kong. Delhi Police has maintained that the fraudsters are using proxies to dupe Indian nationals. According to investigation agencies, Chinese citizens or firms are involved in most of these scams and malpractices. As per cyber experts in India, the money extracted by these fraudsters could be used for terror financing and money laundering. They also flagged off the untenable role of the dragon.
We got many such complaints especially from south of India and then Maharashtra. Now it started in northern side as well. But it is really difficult to investigate in such cases because most of these people are hidden behind VPNs. Their websites are hosted out of India, mostly in China and other Russian countries. And eventually they were used in money laundering operations or probably terrorist funding and many other illegal activities.
As per NCRB's latest data, there is an uptick in economic offences in India, as well as a rise in cyber crimes. In fact, fraudsters are resorting to newer modus operandi to dupe people. First, via Chinese loan apps, and now the Telegram has become a go-to place for these fraudsters. The need of the hour is to implement the cyber laws in a more stringent manner, and also the people need to understand about these financial frauds. In pursuit of quick and easy money, a lot of lives are being lost. And in fact, the money extracted by these fraudsters is being used against India. This is Yash Goel with video journalist Narayan Singh and Vikas Rawat for CNN News 18.
And my colleague Yash, who in fact has filed this report for us, is now joining us live on the broadcast. Yash, first of all, congratulations on this very crucial investigation that you filed for us. As you were rightly pointing out, the biggest concern seems to be these proxy servers that are working in Hong Kong or in China, something similar that we saw with the Chinese loan apps as well. But speaking specifically as far as this Telegram scam is concerned, do we have any data to understand how many victims have already fallen prey to this scam?
Well, Ridhima, this is very tough to answer because this is the newest modus operandi which the fraudsters have resorted to. In fact, the Delhi police has reported very less cases of this particular modus operandi, but the police has maintained that there is a uptick in these sorts of cases. And in fact, like you rightly mentioned, proxies and VPNs are being used by these fraudsters.
Yeah.
We have to understand that when there was a case of the Chinese loan apps, in fact, the police had somewhere to go because there were Chinese firms and Chinese people involved in these particular scams, but they need to hire someone in the geographical boundaries of India to actually make those calls to the victims and to extract money. So there was someone where the police could go and catch that particular person. But in this particular modus operandi, the middleman has been eliminated by the police, by the accused in this particular case. And in fact, when it comes to Telegram, direct proxies and VPN servers are being used by these fraudsters. So it is becoming very tough for the police also to crack these cases. But the Delhi police has already maintained that the cases they are investigating, they were able to crack certain cases. But till now, certain people are also being investigated in this case who were actually acted as a middleman when we talk about these particular cases. In fact, one of the victims to whom we spoke to, Mr. Ankur Kaushik, he also said that there was one person who contacted him regarding these very investments via Telegram app, but still it largely remains to be unseen. Whether all those who are involved in this scam can be nabbed by the police or not, because when we talk about these proxy servers, it is very tough to actually locate these people on the basis of geolocation,
servers,
because
Yash,
most of these people are
problematic. What is also becoming equally problematic and something similar that we saw with the Chinese loan apps and this time around as well is how well they mirror the original apps. So you just don't realize whether you're on a real app or are you chatting with fraudsters. So what are officials and authorities telling you? What is going to be the solution to ensure that people realize and a red flag goes up that possibly I'm being scammed?
Well, we also, sources in the finance ministry have told CNN News 18 that the government is continuously working to educate more and more people, because we have to understand this. The main reason as to why people fall prey to these sorts of scams is because of the lack of knowledge. So what the government of India is doing, they are running many such campaigns to actually educate people, and also certain laws were also enacted by the government of India. In fact, some time back, if I correctly remember, certain Chinese apps were also banned by the government. So right now the government, there are two steps which the government is taking in this particular manner. That first, they are enacting certain stringent laws, and second, they are educating people about these scams.
Okay, Yash, we'll leave the conversation there. Thanks a lot for getting us all those details. We of course now want to take our viewers through of what really is happening as far as the modus operandi of this entire scam is concerned. Let's break down those details of how our victims duped, and before you realize your entire money is in the hands of these fraudsters. This is a big CNN News 18 expose. Let's break down the details. The victims are made to join an investment group on platforms like Telegram. Now, what is the victim made to believe at this point? That this is not a Ponzi scheme. So essentially, you will be made to believe that your money and your fortunes will in fact double in a fortnight or in a month, and you fall prey to a scam like this. The victim after that is then provided with a link to the fraudster's website to further invest his or her money. And this is where it becomes extremely problematic, because this is where the trap begins. The victim uses the fraudster's website to invest via the Binance crypto exchange. And a lot of questions now being raised on the authenticity of crypto exchanges as well. The victim is then directed to Binance site to make the final investment. And this is where the fraudster actually takes away all the purchase that has been made by you, the victim, and the fraud actually keeps happening on loop with every single transaction. So by the end of the day, all your money is actually in the hands of these fraudsters. And that is why we thought it's going to be very crucial for us to tell you how you can protect yourself. What are the steps that you should keep in mind? How do you identify scammers on platforms like Telegram? So the first thing that you need to keep in mind is fake lotteries and giveaways. That should be a red flag in your head. So you should never send any funds to any unknown address. That's a complete no-no. You also need to know that blockchain transactions can't be reversed. So that also should be a red flag for you. The second is fake P2P trading, which means scammers may prompt that the website is not working, which means they will ask you to trade directly via these particular apps. And again, that should be a red flag and you should avoid it. The third is you'll also have a lot of these scamsters who will impersonate official handles. So you should always cross-verify and cross-check before sharing any crucial information. So always see one thing. Major platforms will have a live chat on their official websites. If it's not there, then also you should realize that probably this is a fraud or this is a scam. More importantly, liquidity mining scams. That's also becoming very, very prevalent. Scammers here create fake websites to lure investment from victims. So be extremely careful before you connect any wallets, because scammers will drain you of your hard-earned money. So the biggest question that we're asking this evening is that how is there a pattern emerging with scams like this? What is it that you need to know to protect yourself? Let me also now bring in our guest to take this conversation forward. We have Jiten Jain, cybersecurity expert. We also have Ajit Khurana, crypto expert and founder of Reflexical. We also have Siddhant Tyagi, who has been a fraud victim in previous cases. We also have Sandeep Ji now joining us on the broadcast. He in fact is Hardik's uncle who unfortunately lost his life because of a scam like this. Sandeep Ji, बहुत-बहुत धन्यवाद हमसे बात करने के लिए. Before I bring in our other guests, I want to begin the conversation with you to try and understand कि हार्दिक के साथ क्या हुआ था. हार्दिक ने कितना पैसा इन्वेस्ट करा था, कौन से ऐप पे इन्वेस्ट करा था और उसके साथ क्या हुआ, कुछ बताइए हमारे दर्शकों को. संदीप जी, आपको आवाज आ रही है मेरी?
हेलो।
संदीप जी, आप सुन पा रहे हैं?
हेलो।
जी संदीप जी, हम आपको सुन सकते हैं। आपको मेरी आवाज आ रही है?
मैं संदीप बात कर रहा हूँ, क्या मेरे से बात कर रहे हैं आप?
जी जी, मैं आप ही से बात कर रही हूँ। मैं हार्दिक के बारे में आपसे पूछ रही थी कि हार्दिक
जी।
ने कितना पैसा इन्वेस्ट किया था। क्या आपको क्या पता था इस ऐप के बारे में? क्या हार्दिक ने कुछ बताया था? कुछ बताइए हमारे दर्शकों को कि क्या हुआ था हार्दिक के साथ।
नहीं, एक्चुअली हार्दिक ने इन्वेस्ट किया था, ये सब हमें हार्दिक की डेथ के बाद मालूम चला कि हार्दिक ने 39,000 अप्रोक्सीमेटली अपनी मदर के अकाउंट से निकाले थे और लगभग 25,000 रुपए उसने अपने फ्रेंड से लिए थे।
जी
उसके अलावा जो साइट के जरिए उसको कुछ पैसा मिला था, उसने वो इन्वेस्ट किया जो लगभग लाख रुपए के आसपास बैठता है। लेकिन लास्ट मोमेंट तक हमको ये पता नहीं था कि हार्दिक ऐसे किसी उसमें इन्वॉल्व है। जब डेथ हुई और उसको डिग आउट किया गया, तब मालूम चला कि हार्दिक किसी ऐसे उसमें इन्वॉल्व था। लेकिन अभी भी ये लग रहा है कि वो जो पैसा उसको दिया गया है, वो कहीं ना कहीं जो फ्रॉडस्टर्स थे, उन्होंने उसको एक एक्स्ट्रा इनकम का झांसा देकर उसको उसमें इन्वॉल्व किया और बाद में ये ब्लैकमेलिंग में कन्वर्ट हो गया और वो ब्लैकमेल करने लगे। लेकिन चूंकि हार्दिक ने डेथ से लगभग 1-1.5 घंटे पहले अपनी माताजी को कॉल किया था
जी
कि मम्मी मैं घर पर आ रहा हूं, तो हमें ये नहीं लगता कि हार्दिक को ये मालूम था कि उसके साथ क्या होने वाला है। तो हार्दिक को एक बिल्डिंग में बुलाया गया और धोखे से उसको वहां से ऊपर से फेंक दिया गया, जो बाद में ये हुआ कि हार्दिक की डेथ हो गई। लेकिन
जी
अभी भी पुलिस उसको डिग आउट नहीं कर पाई है किसने ये किया है, क्योंकि बहुत ही रहस्यमय परिस्थितियां हैं ये,
जी
किस तरीके से ये हुआ है।
जी संदीप जी, जैसे आप हमें बता रहे हैं कि आपको डेथ से पहले नहीं पता था कि हार्दिक
बिल्कुल।
किसी ऐसे प्लेटफॉर्म पर एक्टिव है, बट अब काफ़ी पुलिस ऑफिशियल्स भी काम कर रहे हैं, वो समझना चाहते हैं कि कौन से ये लोग थे, प्रॉक्सी सर्वर्स कहाँ थे। तो अब कोई क्लैरिटी आई है कि कितने टाइम से इन फ्रॉस्टर्स से हार्दिक की बातचीत चल रही थी और उन्होंने उसको क्या प्रॉमिस करा था? क्योंकि आजकल जो काफ़ी बच्चे हैं, एंड दिस इज वेयर इट बिकम्स प्रॉब्लमैटिक दैट अ लॉट ऑफ यंगस्टर्स सी दिस as a quick way to make a lot of money. So if you have 500 rupees, the fraudsters will say it will convert into 50,000. तो संदीप जी, क्या अब आपको कोई अंडरस्टैंडिंग है कि ऐसे क्या प्रॉमिसेस करे गए थे हार्दिक को?
केवल केवल एक ही अंडरस्टैंडिंग अभी तक हुई है, क्योंकि ये सारा जितना भी है ये जो कॉल्स हैं, कॉल्स के जरिए नहीं है,
जी
ये टेलीग्राम के माध्यम से है सारा।
जी
और टेलीग्राम के माध्यम से होने पर ये है कि टेलीग्राम में अगर कोई भी एक बंदा जो कन्वर्सेशन में है, वो टेलीग्राम के ग्रुप को डिलीट कर दे, तो बहुत सारी चीजें वहां से वॉश आउट हो जाती हैं।
जी
तो ये देखा है हमने, जो पीछे बस एक दो लाइनें ही मिली हैं टेलीग्राम में, जिसमें हार्दिक ने उनको ये बोला है कि आपने मेरे साथ फ्रॉड किया है। यानी ऐसा लगा है, जो पुलिस इन्वेस्टिगेशन में आया है, कि हार्दिक को पहले एक झांसा दिया गया कि यू कैन मेक एक्स्ट्रा मनी बाय डूइंग पार्ट टाइम वर्क ऑन मोबाइल। तो उन्होंने वो किया, जिसके अंदर
जी
अपने अमेजोन और फ्लिपकार्ट की फेक वेबसाइट्स बनाई उन्होंने, जिस वेबसाइट में ये कहा गया कि भाई आप वेबसाइट पे जो ऑर्डर आ रहे हैं,
जी
इन ऑर्डर्स को अप्रूव कीजिए और पर ऑर्डर आपको 50 रुपीज 100 रुपीज ऐसे मिलेगा।
जी
और कुछ ट्रांजेक्शन्स ऐसी हैं जो हार्दिक के अकाउंट से दिख रही हैं कि उसके अकाउंट में ट्रांसफर हुआ है पैसा,
जी
जिसमें
संदीप जी, जो आप
लगभग
हमें
100
बता रहे
रुपया
हैं ना, वो
200
काफी
रुपया 500
क्रूशल है,
रुपया।
क्योंकि ये जो
हाँ
क्लिक
जी।
बेट्स की हम बात करते हैं, वो क्लिक बेट्स ऐसी ही होती है जैसे हार्दिक के पास इन फ्रॉडस्टर्स की गई होगी। बट दिस इज वेयर आई वांट टू ब्रिंग जितेन इन द कॉन्वर्सेशन. Jitain, I'm trying to understand, we were speaking about something similar a couple of months ago as far as the Chinese loan apps were concerned, and now we're speaking about another similar scam. So I'm trying to understand, how are these platforms able to carry out scams like this so easily? Where are the lapses? What is it in the platform itself or the functioning of the platform itself that's allowing scams like these?
But even you remember when we did a show on Chinese loan app
Yeah,
scams. I think the scams were running for almost 1.5 2 years. Many
true.
people were talking about in Instagram, Facebook, tweeting out that how the scams were running. And probably the police machinery across the states were woke up only after many young lives were lost.
Hmm.
And this is what is happening with this crypto scams on Telegram now. Our system needs a life to be lost to wake up, and this is such a sorry state that I don't know I mean, like, I feel sorry for what happened to that young guy.
Yeah.
But we must understand that, how if you carefully see for the safety of other kids who may be looking to invest in crypto, I think don't fall for such scams. And this is not only Telegram. I think you will find. I mean, I was added to so many random Telegram groups in last 1 year just on a bit to get this high rocketing profits by investing in some trader apps on trading crypto. I exited those groups, but what happens that these days most of the youngsters spends a lot of time on Instagram, Facebook. So you will find this, good-looking models from European countries, especially females, approaching you, and then if you see the profile, they've got this luxurious lifestyle with luxury cars and this savvy holidays and stuff, and their bio says they are traders. I mean, essentially they call themselves crypto traders and all. It is a methodology, a modus operandi to tell and lure people that, look, if you invest in crypto, you can have this so much of money and lifestyle, and these people are out there to help you. And from there, you're taken to some Telegram groups to discuss about the apps. And in those groups, you'll find thousands of people as members. Now, the problem here with Telegram is that, unlike WhatsApp groups, in Telegram, you don't need a phone number to make an account. I mean, you can make your phone number private. So if on a WhatsApp group,
so essentially, Jitin, just small clarification then. So essentially, without your consent, you can be added to any of these groups,
yes,
and you wouldn't know what's actually happening on these groups, and that's where the trap actually begins.
No, you would get a notification that you've been added, but you cannot see the person who's added you because he will have an ID. So the point I'm trying to make is that on Telegram, a person can hide his mobile number, and you can contact anyone by just using his Telegram ID. You don't need a mobile number, and that is where the first obstacle for police starts. If they want to investigate, they do not even have a mobile number.
How do you go back?
Unlike other, this scams and all. So since Telegram allows only to add users by some user ID or something, it becomes extremely difficult to then catch out these people. Now, second, on these Telegram groups, these are, a broadcast list in a way that only admins are allowed to post messages. So they will be posting about stories of how people got rich, how much money, who made, but any negative feedback does not come on the group because no individual user is allowed to message back. So people don't get to know that how many people have been conned. They think that the thousands of people who are part of these groups are actually making money out of these things. Third, they are initially given some money back to make them believe that they are actually making more. Shakuni wali chaal hai. Pehle 2 baar jita do, baad mein dhoka denge. So they actually give you money back to make you invest big, and that is where the fraudulent website
Jitin, when
comes
you
into
lose
play.
your money, it's not just a one-time money that you're losing. With every transaction, you keep losing money from your bank account till the time it actually becomes zero. But Jitin, I'll just request you to stay on with us. I quickly want to bring
Ridhima, please, one thing is very important we have to understand. Why Telegram becomes extremely critical in pulling off these large-scale scams. Because I think users must know that for a scammer to scam a person on WhatsApp or Facebook, you need one person to talk to someone. Telegram allows you to use bots. So automated bots can speak to thousands of people at a time and scam thousands of people.
True.
And essentially, it is only one guy who's running on those bots.
Yeah.
So on WhatsApp or Facebook or any other media,
I think this is crucial what Jitin is saying as far as the functioning of the app itself, that if you don't have a phone number also, when you tell the authorities that what are you doing, they don't even know how to even track these people. But Ajit, I want to bring you in the conversation as far as how crypto exchanges are now being linked with these scams. So what are the red flags that should go up for somebody who's a crypto investor or a crypto user to know that possibly this is not the real crypto exchange, but a scam that's playing out?
Just very quickly, anybody using Telegram right now, go to settings. Within settings, go to privacy and security. Within that, go to groups and channels and make sure that nobody can add you to a group without your permission. This setting is extremely important and will take care of a lot of these problems. Answering your question, Ridhima, there are 3 things that users can do to prevent getting scammed in this way on a crypto exchange. Number 1, if there is a crypto exchange account, make sure you have opened it. Do not ever accept a login ID and a password by somebody else who may secretly have added their wallet address. So when you are putting money, they can withdraw it. So please open your account yourself. Number 2, please go with reputed exchanges which require KYC. Number 3, often I find that the 3 common things that are used by crypto scamsters are: 1, they will talk of trading returns. Second, they will talk of mining returns. Third, they will talk of farming or liquidity farming returns. Because these sound sufficiently fancy that you believe, oh, maybe I can make a overnight million right there. The fact is that all of these methods, while they may be valid, also give very low returns. Like mining returns are very, very low. I don't do mining because the returns are very low. So please do not think that there is any such thing as get rich quick. If somebody is asking you to perform certain actions on your device, that they are in touch with you, maybe they're sending you instructions, maybe somebody's getting on touch with you, a video conference, and say, hey, go to this app, hey, click this, etc. Nobody should ever tell you what you should do on your device.
True.
You can hear their instructions, but then decide what you are doing. In fact, even UPI scams are often done this way, where you are sending money instead of receiving money, etc. And lastly, I think at the heart of it all is the fact that I have been in crypto now for more than 6 years. Believe me, viewers, there is no way to make money quick. There is no way to become overnight rich. If somebody is offering you that, they are without any doubt lying.
I think this is so crucial, Ajit, and we say this every single time, and I'm very glad that you're saying this. Two things that Ajit is saying, and I'm just going to quickly repeat them because this is very crucial for any viewer who is watching us or any young crypto investor also. One, there is nothing which is going to give you money overnight. Secondly, as Ajit rightly pointed out, any exchange or any firm which says that you don't have to do KYC, that should be your first red flag and say, boss, something is not right here. But I quickly want to bring in Siddhant also in the conversation. Siddhant, we've spoken a couple of times, even when we were doing stories around the Chinese loan apps. It's important to hear from people like you. Talk to us about the kind of conversation you had with the fraudsters, and why did you think that all of this was authentic?
Hi, good evening, Ridhima. So I would like to start by explaining a little about what went wrong. So I have been involved with certain crypto investment companies who are doing actual work, legit work. But my concern here is with Telegram, because it is an autonomous, you can call it platform, or it has servers distributed amongst 5 countries. It's based out of Dubai, and we don't have any local operations in India where we can go and actually certify, or there's no one who can talk about the data that is being shared there, people who are part of that app, people who are chatting there. So if someone pulls a scam in the traditional environment, so the government is able to track it down through Airtel and these telecom companies. But in the case of Telegram, that is just not possible, because it is all of that is happening online on the digital environment. So people who are aware when it comes to the fraudsters, they're more aware than the investors, I would say. So with me, in my case, what they did was they impersonated the whole project that I was a part of. So like the learned Ajit sir said, and even Jiten sir pointed out, that these fraudsters, what they do, they add you to random groups. But at the same time, there's the whole situation is not black and white. There's a gray area to it too, which we really need to understand, which I would suggest is, when there are certain companies which are actually doing the right work and taking investments in the right manner, but in order to do some community building, they use Telegram as a platform. A lot of fraudsters sign up to those platforms and get part of those groups to able to identify through the conversations with the actual company, and they figure out that, okay, these are the people who are wallet holders and who actually have money. So they privately message them, try to impersonate the actual project, and they just change probably one letter.
So, there are two things happening here. As far as the Chinese loan apps were concerned, you made a very clear list of the vulnerable victims. And as far as the Telegram scam is concerned, as Siddhant is also rightly pointing out, you make a separate list of people who already have the money, so you can privately message them. This is how the fraudsters are working. But Jiten, quickly, I want to go back to the question I started the show with. Whether it was a Chinese loan apps or whether it is this scam, the biggest concern is, as far as these proxy servers are concerned, links and origins being seen in places like China and Hong Kong. What is the long-term solution to crack down on these proxy servers?
So proxy server itself are not a problem, because proxy is used for multiple things. See, the problem with crypto is anonymity. In Chinese loan scams, you were actually given real money in INR denominations, and the proceeds of crime and scams were then converted into crypto and then were used for money laundering to China and Russia. Here, the original transactions are itself in crypto. So it's very, very difficult to crack. I mean, they say that if you want to track a criminal, follow the money trail. In this case, money trails are absent because you are making transactions which are in different geographies, and that too in crypto. So it's extremely difficult. So I think what right now probably RBI or MHA ought to do, I think we'll have to take a very clear stand whether crypto is allowed in India or not allowed, whether you ban it or leave it. living it in a gray area where you want to tax the crypto transactions, the digital assets, and yet not regularize them or validate them or then allow them. I think we are living in this gray zone. So I think government has to take a very clear stand. In my opinion,
well, the government has already made their reservations very clear, and that is why they have these reservations. That they feel that one, the numbers are exaggerated, and this is exactly that fear that you can fall prey to scams like these as well. And that is why I'm saying this again before, as I quickly wrap the show. Keep your eyes and ears open. All the red flags that we mentioned, just ask yourself, are you now falling trap to these fraudsters and to this scam as well? I'd like to thank all our guests. It's a wrap from my side. Plain Speak is up next.
Welcome everyone. Thanks for staying with us. You're watching Plain Speak with me, Shivani Gupta. If you thought the government was going to back down over the entire judges' appointment issue, you thought wrong. In fact, Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar has opened up another front against the Supreme Court by saying the basic structure of the Constitution can also be amended by the government or the legislature. This comes after the Supreme Court had already slammed the government for making their views public or questioned the judiciary on the judges' appointment issue. Suffice to say, we've got a battle on our hands. But this is an important battle, one that the government should not shy away from. Over the years, questions have been raised over judicial overreach. Judgment